Bentornati a Professor Layton vs Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Yes.
Che vuol dire miglior avvocato, credo. Boh, forse.
So, welcome to the seventh part of the crossover here and there. And here is where I do showcase one of my problems with the game. As you recall, last time when I saved, it was near the end of the cross-examination. Well, actually, no. Literally after the end of said cross-examination. However, and this is a bit of an issue here, as you'll see, for some reason, when I load it back up, it takes me back to this part of the game. Allow me to explain, since we've already gone through this part of the story here. As you may recall, Ace Attorney and Professor Layton have different means of saving here and there. With Ace Attorney, which I would argue is probably the better turns about of saving here and there, you literally can pretty much save wherever you last left off. Sure, there are some exceptions here and there, but no. In fact, nowadays, it is pretty much more or less a save state thing. It's gotten even better now with the recent games that literally allow you to do a chapter select, not just on each episode, but literally in sections of each episode. Now, and don't get me wrong, I like the Layton series, but if there's one thing I feel like they could have grown out of, it is how the save system works. With the Layton series, if you want to go back to a certain part of the game, you either need to replay from the beginning or hope you saved a section in that particular bout here and there. So, guess which save system they used for the crossover? And look, if it were just that way for Layton sections, I'd be fine. Unfortunately, the saving is all the more gimped when it comes to the Ace Attorney trials here and there. So, let me put it like this. Let's just say there's pretty much no way to know where you're going to be left off saving-wise. Like, sure, you'll have a good idea, but you won't necessarily know for sure. Hence how it left me off all the way here.
It is weird because it certainly wouldn't have taken that much of a trouble to modify the save system for the Ace Attorney sections.
Pretty much in that regard.
I actually do wonder if the purpose was, well, the cases instead in here do not take more than 1 day, technically, of time. So they think they're, relatively small compared to the usual attorney shenanigans. But to compensate that, they tend to go on a bit, even this first one, which is supposed to be the tutorial. So I don't know.
And
again, regardless of what Jovah said is true, at least for Ace Attorney, they should have implemented something similar to the save state.
The thing is, the thing is, the reason the latent save system works for that series because, okay, you can save during dialogues. But that's okay. Just go for the dialogue, and then immediately after you're done with that, whatever conversation you're having, you can just...
Alright.
Okay, go on.
About the whole thing. I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police.
Doing such a civic duty, I see.
When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo.
Precious indeed.
Naturalmente, I had to get the toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off, though. What a shame.
What a shame indeed.
But there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was hit, but I got the toy back at least.
Ah, I see. What a commendable attitude, going to such lengths to protect the cargo.
So fucking... I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship.
Someone had to be the security guard, because the actual one is terrible.
Yeah. You know things are bad when the cook's a better security guard than the actual security guard. Didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold.
Oh no. These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. Build a Badger.
Lovely.
We transport them down to the River Thames, distributing them to the children as we go.
Imagine having this watching over your children at night.
Merry Christmas, little Timmy. No refunds.
Didn't she call them Bizarro toys earlier? And now suddenly they're cute?
Also, hard Z, Phoenix. Bizzarro. Like pizza.
Uh-huh. And what about the fingerprints on this toy?
It's a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found.
Ah.
That's a shame.
Well, that is unfortunate.
It's not even good for relevating fingerprints.
What is it good for? Fire fuel?
Scaring the piss out of people? Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence.
Do we have to?
Yeah, who needs
It
pumpkins?
is
when you
part of
got
our
that?
duty, Tio. The
It's in the
defense
corner of the
now
room staring at
cross-examine the
everyone.
witness. Never forget, it was the blue badger that more or less saved the trial in the movie.
Yeah, somehow. It looked like he was even dying in that.
There was nobody in that suit, which is weird. When you went to the cargo hold, Estelle was holding this stuffed animal?
Naturalmente, I caught her red-handed.
With gusto,
She
no doubt.
was trying to steal it. I'm telling you. So caps.
Emphasis for truth, I guess.
I guess we could not implement gold.
To be honest, it doesn't sound like she's lying. For once.
Father. For once.
I conveniently don't have it for some reason. We can't be sure about it. Just picking something up doesn't make you a thief. Anyway... something else in her testimony is on my mind right now.
The vet changed his mind about the innocence of his client now.
As soon as the prosecution gets a good fashion style sense.
Hold it!
Yeah, the workshop is by the River Thames.
Absolutely.
We come to pick up the cargo regularly.
As it's a regular direct delivery service, we did not see the need to investigate the cargo.
If you confiscated our cargo for inspection, I wouldn't be able to carry out my cooking experiments.
Cooking experiments? Confiscate? What the heck is she cooking with exactly?
Methamphetamine.
Oh my.
We can all see how committed Miss Al Dente is to her work.
Commitment and passion are the main ingredient of every dish I cook.
Huh.
Also salmonella sometimes.
Hold it!
Hold it! The stuffed animal's leg got ripped off when you were fighting.
Yeah, it came off easier than the shell of a freshly boiled lobster.
Lobster. Let's see. Ugh. This thing does seem kind of flimsy.
Stop picking on PC Badger. No, actually, keep doing that.
Please.
It's not made very well, though. Looks like it might just come apart if you pull the bit. So apparently the British made a cheap knockoff of the Badger.
It's a bootleg.
Yes.
I ripped out the girl's hand and kept it with me until the police came. The British bootleg. What a joy. I'm proud.
Wonderful.
Well, that's really rare.
Hold it!
Hold it! So, you didn't hit the defendant with this steel pipe?
Aren't you forgetting who's the victim here, sweetie? I am, and I didn't strike myself with that pipe. Aren't you getting things backwards?
Trust me, it would not be the weirdest thing I've seen in court.
Easy. Maybe I haven't been eating properly.
Don't you feel it's surprising can eat at all?
She's right. Someone else must have hit her.
I thought you were going to say, she's right, I don't eat properly.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but
No, keep going.
Don't say it then.
Hold it!
Hold it! You don't remember much about it.
yeah. And the room was dark because only the emergency light was on. But there was definitely no one else in that room. Only me and the little girl.
Was there by any chance a cardboard box that moved around?
So it had to be her, then it ate me.
She's not having second thoughts about that, it seems. So that's it, huh?
Well, Nick?
This one's easy. I know what to do.
You're finally starting to act like your normal self. That jet lag must have hit you a ton.
We call it the tutorial curse at this point, Maya. There is a clear contradiction in Olivia's testimony. It's time to present some evidence and expose her lies.
Jet lag is pretty crap, though.
Yes, it is.
Objection!
Objection! Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police, is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one. No doubt about it.
I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up.
What's that up?
If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault.
I say you are juggling.
Well, you have to trust somebody if they say that while they're chuckling.
It got ripped off because she wouldn't let go.
Again, she's doing everyone a favor. I don't see the crime here.
Crime's a crime still, Shiroi. The problem is not something that's missing from this stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place.
The actual toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that shouldn't be there?
It's the tag, right?
And that is, of course, this item. Hold on, Shiroi. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles.
When I seized the girl at the crime scene, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
And what would that be?
Lips?
It appeared to be the tag, I already said that, Mr. Dio.
Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But if it wasn't its leg, it was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente?
If that is your real name.
If this is a stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her... Huh! Then why is the tag still on it?
Yeah.
Order! Order! I will have order! What is the meaning of it?
Hey, you tasteless-looking prosecutor over there!
Yes?
What's this about the tag? You didn't tell me anything about that.
Oh, bravo! With preparing your witnesses, Mr. Prosecutor, you're a pro.
No, please calm down.
And please take that eel out of the courtroom. It's stinking up the place.
It's still alive. It's no use blaming the prosecutor.
And you're fine with the Sonic quotes today, really, so...
She's trying to both justify and cook at the same time.
He didn't even know this tag existed. Now that's some real commitment for a cook.
Objection!
Jen, witness, I've not been involved in such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it into the police?
Oh,
Major?
sorry. Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor. I am an expert at what I do. And my expert advice to myself was that I'd better keep this as my secret weapon.
You're not Edgeworth.
So I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial.
I guess in a way he did, just not in the way he expected.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial.
Yeah.
What do you know? Johnny actually was useful for something. But then, why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag?
Just ask that, Your Honor.
The answer is simple. There is a tag on this stuffed animal because...
You put a tag on it.
there is only one possibility.
We were given 3.
Miss Al Dente, before handing the plushie into the police, you swapped it for another!
Yeah. Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridiculous.
I can think of a reason or 2 or 3.
That's right. That tag must be a fake.
A fake? Why would you think that? That'll be fun to hear.
That chocolate freak must be trying to frame me. That's what it is.
Oh, the devious mastermind. No, I can't even finish
Objection!
it. Objection! Huh. Mr. Smiles has no motive nor the brains to do something like that.
Objection!
Objection! No motive. It doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention.
Yes, what he said. They got right to show off. That's all there is to it.
Did Johnny produce bogus evidence to draw attention to himself?
No.
No.
It's possible, perhaps, but not very likely.
See? Next time I see that guard, I'll test my new knife set on you.
Ah!
See, someone with murder in a courthouse.
I think she's threatened 3 different people at this point with that knife.
However, it's easy to check whether this evidence is genuine.
What?
Yep.
Do you plan to check it?
By checking the fingerprints, of course.
Fingerprint? Ah!
According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he seized Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Huh! Therefore, her fingerprints should still be on that tag.
Yeah.
Also, if he's had it in his possession, there's gonna be some chocolate on it too.
Bailiff, have this evidence investigated immediately. Pronto!
That was awesome, Nick. We almost got her now.
Yep.
Don't jinx it, Maya.
Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you.
No more questions.
It's part of your
What is it?
job. When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Well, Mr. Flinch, did you? Or did you also do a shoddy job with the investigation?
No, we. Fuck! I can't even plead the fifth. We're in Britain. Considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly.
Don't you have anything comparable to
At
that,
the very
Liz?
least, I can tell you that all the toys in the crate had tags on. I am so fired.
I mean,
Over here in
look, it's
over
only.
here-
It's only an international league trial with you representing all of England. I'm sure this won't be embarrassing in the slightest.
Well, Phoenix is speaking something else, I think.
Yes, Pedro?
over here in Portugal, we have also the whole right to remain silent thing.
But it's normally more obvious for a constitutional type of, country, but...
It appears no stuffed tag was found, which means it may be hidden in the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time.
I know it means you're gonna have to look at those ugly things again, but we gotta.
Yes. Send a forensics team there immediately.
Right, that would take 5 days.
You're requesting another search?
Objection!
Objection! What? Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
The toy was swapped or not doesn't matter in the least.
God, he's setting himself up for it. This is gonna be so good.
They're all the same. Any of them will do just fine.
That is exactly why it's important. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet... why is the witness getting so worked up about it?
Understatement.
Just pointing it as I
that-
see it.
That's just...
I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case.
Also, hi, Maya.
Allow me to remind everybody this is the first ever time Phoenix was rendered in 3D. So yeah, Takumi clearly wanted to showcase that off.
Complete with all new camera angles and everything, too. There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface.
Nick!
Yes? Right. This is it. What should I do?
Wait and see what happens, sure.
Yeah.
Present the badge.
If only. Ha! Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship, and there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution does not acknowledge the need for...
Oh, she's voicing it.
Oh.
Huh?
Jesus, that's a tuna.
Help me get that.
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
And why exactly?
Because it would upset the tuna, that's why. Witness? Where did she conjure that tuna from?
Fishmancer.
Miss Al Dente! Why did you swap the stuffed animal?
I wanted to.
And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. God help us all.
Unfortunately.
Seriously. God save us from this thing.
This wondrous...
Oh god, I don't want to look into its eyes.
The Badger's heroic. Love it!
No!
You
Touch the badger.
Stop badgering me!
I say,
You
Mr.
asked for
Wright,
it!
Could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Huh, of course. I don't have any definitive
So in true
proof,
tradition, we just have to wing it, I guess.
but when
Look
it comes
around
to
and
pointing
find
out
out.
a possibility, I might have something.
God damn.
Very well then, let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence that would explain why Miss Al Dente is against the search?
We can't present the badge.
Yes, that
For
is such a
shame.
tragedy. Take that! Ha! How's that?
Where'd the tuna go?
Look at this boiled attorney. I advise to boil him for at least an hour, and even then he may not quite bitter when he realizes what fool is.
Where'd it go? The big tuna?
My,
Exactly!
Questioning things, it's not worth it.
Looks like I chose the wrong thing.
All that.
We got this far, we can't let it give us the slip
And you
now.
don't even get a penalty.
Well, it's not
This
looking
is the
good.
first case, they're being nice.
Although, funnily enough, Trials and Tribulations was pretty tough in its first case, so then again, that was...
Justice for All was tough for its tutorial case, I can tell you that.
Well then, let's ask again. Can the defense present relevant evidence? Oh,
Look, Nick, there's the
tuna.
tuna.
Yes, I see it in all its squirming glory.
Take that!
Take that! There is a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive jewel thieves at large in London. Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that robbery. I have heard about it, of course.
Yeah, being guns.
A group of thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them. Well, maybe I can help them with their jobs.
It just sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing.
Wanna bet? I beg to differ. The jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo.
It's a good thing we're just able to stumble into this case and not like a drug operation because you would just smuggle cocaine or something.
Yeah.
Can't be.
Poor tuna.
That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back.
Yeah.
Take a breath. You had to get it back at all costs. But why go so far for a mere plushie? Ha! There is only one possible reason.
You really love furry things.
You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it.
Or alternatively, she's a furry.
That's Jesus.
Nope.
Ooh, she got tuned.
Well done, Mr. Tuna. Well done. You caught that dastardly criminal. Right. Give him a victory lap in the pool.
Wow, the tuna doing the better job than the Met.
Well, we have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. This toy was hidden between a storage unit and a pipe. The toy has been cut open and the contents examined.
There was nothing inside here, wasted our time.
And this was found inside. A pink
Yes,
diamond.
Emerald.
A pink diamond worth approximately 100,000 euros.
Pounds.
Pounds.
We have also received a report from the crime lab.
Hey, sure, a pink diamond, that must be worth its weight in gold.
Not really.
The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag.
Again, one day I will be able to understand all the late season Steven Universe jokes.
Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente?
I still haven't seen Future.
Oh, that slap.
Oh,
Yeah, that left a mark.
I lost, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
you got slapped in the face by a fish.
In front of an entire court. So you are... Yeah, I guess she figures after that. Might as well just
Yeah,
call it a day.
I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role was to get the loot out of London. You had one job.
And to think, this might not have happened if Luke and Layton hadn't left a spell on that ship.
The police never checked the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot.
It's great that everyone's crap at their job, huh?
Indeed, the regular direct delivery service has been overlooked by the police.
Again, everyone's crap at their job.
Except me. Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascots representing the police.
The irony. The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all. But Miles is still an idiot.
It was... Can you imagine if Smiles was actually secretly the ringleader of this all? It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies.
Then he's a great actor.
It's always the one you don't expect. There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one, 7 in total.
Yes.
The defendant happened to pick one of those toys up.
I had my art stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow.
It's a mystery, is it not?
So there she was in the room with the hidden loot, one of the toys in her hand.
So how did Estella get in there?
It's complicated, Maya. I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what. But I just had to get it back from her, no matter the cost.
Even if it came to murder, apparently.
Then I ended in a different toy. I mean, it looked like he was ripped in the fight. Would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels.
Anything.
Exactly. But wait,
Maya!
who was it in the end?
God damn it.
Who hit Olivia? Could have kept your mouth shut, Maya.
Oh, I almost forgot about
It's
that.
the entire crux of the
I
trial.
thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one
You don't
else
know
was supposed to
at
be
all.
in that room.
Actually, let me check
But
who
what
voices
if-
Olivia.
There was someone in the shadows.
Oh.
Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
If only we had a great security guard who may have noticed that person. But we just had Johnny.
Oh well.
Dang.
Or what you have.
Well, this was a most unusual case.
No
It
kidding.
cannot be said that all mysteries have been resolved. The flipping American lawyers had to do the work of Scotland Yard, and it has become clear that Miss Cantabella is innocent.
Your Honor, if the witness is anything to go by, this is just business as usual. Somebody else having to do something for Scotland Yard.
Yes, Your Honor. It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth.
This courtroom is a sham.
Well, I don't know. I think in around 20 years, someone at Scotland Yard will be able to finally do their jobs.
Hey, I was just doing my job. Like I always do.
Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with?
Look, I'm not some
Hiya.
flashy superhero trying to come up with one-liners. And Mr. Flinch,
You're
Your Honor.
fired.
this trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys Exchange program, wasn't it? Which means England
You
freaking
embarrassment.
lost. May this trial serve as a lesson for you too. Is that understood? Everyone in England will know who lost this trial.
Ooh.
Lost on your own turf.
Fucking wrecked.
Oh god, those eyes.
Jesus.
You need your glasses to find your glasses.
Is he gonna be okay?
Probably.
Well then.
See him again, so. Yeah.
Well, yes and no to that. The court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant, Espella Cantabella, not guilty.
Yay!
Confetti!
Oh wow, they even bring some confetti here too.
I know. Amazing.
Traditions.
We didn't adjourn the court, though.
Congratulations, you did it, Nick.
They didn't just adjourn the court.
Let's just assume he did. Yeah, thanks. I guess I should be happy.
Uh-oh.
Darklaw's cold gaze is staring daggers through me. She's like a
That's
gender-
just her resting bitch face.
It's okay.
So she's like a gender-swapped Edgeworth in that regard.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Why does your face say a different thing?
You are better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Espella innocent from the very start.
Huh. Well, I'm glad your pride will be ever so intact, as well as your
See, guys,
school's
she's just a
reputation.
giant tsundere, nothing more.
I'm glad you're happy about the verdict.
Espella, come and thank Mr. Wright.
You.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
You're welcome, and I do hope that the drugs wear off eventually. Glad I could help. Interesting book she's holding.
Hey, Espella. What's that big book you've got there?
It's called the Book of. Yes.
Harry.
Oh, God.
Why?
Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books.
Okay, Belle.
How to kill the constable near you and get away with it.
At any rate, now Espella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school.
Yeah, sure, that's definitely what it is.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
And it's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright.
Cool, right. So about my fee.
Thank you for your support. Yeah, can Phoenix get paid while we're at it?
You will be paid in exposure.
God damn it.
Over in England, which isn't even my home turf.
Now, please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to.
Sure, there's a targeted hitman that says the same thing, and you can kill him when he says it.
I mean, yeah.
That sounds great.
Agent 47 is still a mercenary in the end.
Like, being paid in exposure is kind of terrible for an assassin who's trying to stay hidden.
Mr. Wright,
Yes?
you were truly outstanding in that courtroom today.
You were
Holy
truly
cow!
the eighth attorney.
She really has done a 180 now with me. Anymore.
See, because it's a visual novel, Phoenix, that is the moment where you're breaking your heart. That's your chance to strike.
Farewell.
Next she'll be asking me to hold hands.
Oh, we also got the wrong ending.
Don't push your luck.
Whew! It's finally over. Now what do we do?
You know, something's still bothering me about this case.
You don't say.
The person who hit Olivia. Where did they go?
That's a legit good question, actually. That's true.
For all we know, I know what we know, but for the purpose of this point, he could have been, the security guard.
We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. It's not like we could ask Espella for a clear, concise testimony on the bout. And if it wasn't Espella, there must have been another person at the crime scene. How could they just vanish into thin air?
But neither Olivia or Johnny saw anyone else.
True, Johnny may be an idiot, but Olivia wasn't. The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows.
It was Batman.
Or Solid Snake.
Or Shadow the Hedgehog.
Or all three of them. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. I'm amazed he saw anything. And he missed all those clues. So it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator, too. How about we head back now?
Yes, Maya, let's get on forage and call it fish and chips.
Okay, let's go check out Tower Bridge. We still have some daylight left.
Yeah,
Daylight in London, yeah.
Oh,
it'll be nice. Huh?
What is it, Maya?
Ah, voices.
there, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book?
It's called a sofa.
No,
They're
no, it's something that's
American.
on the
We
couch.
should return it to her.
They're Americans.
They call it a sidewalk.
Let's see what kind of stuff Espella
you
likes
don't?
to read.
No,
Maya.
pavement.
Just quit it, Maya.
Yeah.
Please.
Labyrinthia, huh?
Huh.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Actually, I haven't asked you before, Jovah. Do you prefer
Maya,
the
look.
OG Phoenix design like we see here, or the new design he has nowadays?
Look, that's us, isn't
I'll
it?
Because a lot of people
later.
actually prefer this one.
What the? Wait, what's going on? I didn't sign up for this.
And Phoenix and Maya died. The end.
And the bailiffs did not notice anything somehow.
That's because they're not real, they're cardboard.
No, but that's the
Yeah.
thing. These ones actually moved and talked, so...
Again, keep this in mind. It will be important for later.
Do remember that much, much later. So yes,
And we-
here's the thing. Since it's a bit of a picaret thing, based off of how many check marks you have left, the amount of picarets will be added to that. So if you want to go for
That's
a...
pretty cool.
So if you want to go for a super duper completionist run, you gotta make sure that you go completely unscathed for a trial. Which again, this is part of my issue with the save system here. Like, let's imagine, you're a fan of both series, but let's say you prefer more so the Ace Attorney trials. So you think, well, after I complete the game, I can just, replay it, right? Nope! You either need to save a file around the time that a trial starts, or play the whole game over again. Now, whether or not you do like this game, it can take a bit of a while to get to some things. And I do argue some of the best ways to be able to replay Ace Attorney games are, since you've already done the investigation, if you really want to, you can just skip to the trials if you want. Not so much here, which is, again, something that just boggles my mind with the save system for this game. A shame. Anyway, Pedro, to answer your question, as for which design I prefer, that is a tough one. I think I like both his OG design and his newer design equally, each for different reasons. Like, I feel like both are a good showing of the era we're in and whatnot. Now I will admit his original design is probably more iconic, but I do like his new design just as well to show him as more of an, even more of a senior in that regard, yeah.
Yeah, he's older. It's been 7 years. It makes sense that his face would change.
Which one do you prefer?
I'm about the same as you when it comes to that matter. As for my take, yeah, I like what Jovah said regarding the save system, because like I said, that kind of save system works in the Layton series, but yeah, they should have really implemented the different save system for the Ace Attorney sections, definitely. Because yeah, this like on Layton, yeah, you can save during conversations, but that's okay. All you have to do is wait till the conversation is over, and you can go to the trunk, and you just save there, and that's it. You can just return to that specific point.
Not to mention, in Layton, the conversations are actually more shorter, actually shorter than in Ace Attorney, their entire focus of being more of a visual novel than anything.
Which does lead me to a bit of an issue here. You don't get the skip not so much the skip conversation button, but you don't have a fast forward button like you do with the Ace Attorney games for stuff that you've already read or looked into. Trust me, this does become notable on parts later here and there. Now again, I can get it for the non-trial sections, but for the actual trial sessions, it's also like that too.
Also, just to mention quickly, because I did mention I was going to look at previously, no, Olivia Dente's voice actress is not credited, and I couldn't find anyone who had a last name that sounded that might have been the actual voice actress. So who knows?
Voiced by a voice actress is all we know.
That being said, to say one thing that I really like what they do with the trial scenes is they managed to implement the Layton hint system into it. Actually.
Yes, actually. If you use a hint, it will actually narrow down certain choices that you can pick among in the Ace Attorney sections.
Which is something that can be a nice way to go about it, because one thing that the Ace Attorney series has always had since the very beginning, and I even experienced a bit of it myself in the Greatest Attorney Chronicles recently, is that a lot of times in the Ace Attorney series, because it's a very scripted game where Phoenix is always supposed to have an epiphany at a very specific point in the story, if you, the player, manage to figure it out before Phoenix does, basically you play a game of catch up where you're waiting for Phoenix to get to that point. Again, it's not the problem with the game, it's because it's a consequence of the game is scripted, the story is scripted, so of course he has the big epiphany at a specific point in the story. So if the player manages to figure it out way before, yeah, you have to basically wait till Phoenix gets there. And sometimes you can basically just have to pick things that you don't necessarily know what to pick for because you're already thinking of what the real thing is. So the hint system does help with that particular aspect, at the very least.
Dual Destinies would also later implement a system sort of similar to the hint system, where if you have enough trouble, your co-counsel will sort of clue you in on which statement you should be ogling overall in a cross-examination.
So yes, finally I get my right next part.
Sure.
Right, yes. Phoenix, Maya, Layton, and Luke have now all been sucked into a book. With that, we finally conclude the prologue. Now, from here, the real story can begin. So let us open the book in the next chapter. Chapter 1.
See ya.
Then.